What is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and yesterday we got finally, it's about time. It's been literally 5 months since the last Forbidden Limitless. We finally got an update to the Forbidden Limitless, and the next update will be no earlier than a few months from now. So we can expect another one to come in probably May of next year. Realistically, it's just I mean, there's a long time coming. I mean, essentially, we've been waiting around this for a while, and essentially, it's about time. I mean, there's not gonna be a reaction video. I mean, I already seen the ban list and everything. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have not seen the ban list, definitely go ahead and check it out. Link will be in the description. And I did want to upload a test hand video for my Tri Brigade deck that I uploaded yesterday, but that's gonna have to wait until tomorrow, guys. Sorry for any guys who were looking forward to that. But this time, I just want to go ahead and analyze each card that was either put on or taken off the list, and just go one by one with you guys so that we can gather our thoughts. I mean, I originally recorded a video trying to get my quick opinions out there, but I decided not to upload it just because I wanted to make this right. Essentially, I want to make sure we have an actual conversation instead of just like a quick 1 to 2 minute video saying, "Oh my God, Banlist is out. Light stage is at 3. What's going on?" So let's address the elephant in the room. Mystic Mine is not on the ban list, which means Konami clearly does not see it as a problem card, even though I think it's the general consensus at this point from everybody that the only really problematic card in Mystic in the game right now is still Mystic Mine. I mean, Fairytale Snow, while a great card and very easily abused by graveyard-reliant decks that like to mill, I mean, this is not really news. Yeah, Fairytale Snow can be abused, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, ban it, whatever. You know, a quick slap on the wrist to any tier limit player. I mean, that's really all I see it at. Same thing with like Rodent Totem. I mean, I understand it can be very, very easily abused, so I understand the reason behind it. But what is concerning is that I don't think Konami is really taking into consideration how we feel. I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear. You don't need a rocket scientist to go on YouTube and type in Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist predictions. You got Simo, you got me, you got I think Team Samso does them. I don't really know. I think Cali Effect does them as well. But basically what I'm trying to get at is Konami, I think, needs to start paying attention a little bit more to their player base. And start hearing us out a little bit more. I mean, I understand they're doing a little bit more about this with Yu-Gi tubers making appearances on feature matches, YCSs, and things like that, which is really cool. I mean, it's awesome to see guys like, I think DZeef was on a feature match in a YCS. That was really cool to see. You know, get other guys who just the crowd recognizes, and I think that's something that Konami still needs to do, is to acknowledge that they have a fan base who is crying out to you and telling you exactly what they want, and then you go around and you do the complete opposite. So I feel like it goes both ways. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I mean, at least some issues were addressed, however. So Fairytale Snow, a quick slap on the wrist to tier limits. I mean, is it really that big a hit? Not necessarily. I mean, it takes away one interruption, but even then, I mean, I don't think it was really that big of a problem. By the way, if you disagree with me or whatever I might have you, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Rodent Totem, again, is a very easily abusable card. I mean, I was playing with my friend Ford earlier today right after I heard the news, and I mean, I just kept abusing Rodent Totem over and over again. Just being able to special summon him back without being a once per turn, I think, is just insane. I think if Rodent Totem got an errata where it was a hard once per turn, I think it'd be a fair card, realistically. I mean, there's so many cards that just revive themselves from the graveyard. Yes, some are banned, like Level Eater and, you know, Fairytale Snow, but being able to just special summon them back and have no additional effects going for them, which Level Eater and Snow have, I think would be a lot healthier. If it gets an errata, just comes once per turn, then I think it could potentially come back, but I do see the abuse of this card. So for Sprite players, it does change up what we have to do in order to make a Toad, but it does not mean that we cannot make a Toad. We just have to be a little bit more cautious with our resources and make sure that we're not just, you know, vomiting a whole bunch of level 2s on board, you know, all willy-nilly. We have to actually think about our plays, make sure maybe what's the best route to keep the sprite red on the field or to push for the totally awesome play. But it's still something that we can do. Plus, Livestone can potentially still make it. I was looking at other level 2 frogs as a performer power one. I don't think that would be applicable, but it's not completely out of the question. Also, we did get Substitute back, which, I mean, can it help? Yeah, but it's not really something that I could really see doing a lot of high impact, to be honest. Kriston Hacky Fibrax was, I mean, something that we've been calling out for a while now. I don't think it really was as big of an issue in this format, just speaking based off what I've seen. Yeah, Hulk was used in some sprite builds to still use Diva, but I mean, essentially, I don't think Hacky Fibrax was that big an issue. I mean, yeah, you could potentially search out hand traps with sprite, and that was kind of cool, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was that much of a problem card with the current format. Previous formats, yeah. I mean, it was a pain in the ass, but I don't think anyone's really going to complain that Kriston Hacky Fibrax is banned at this point. It's just gone, and now we can finally just move on from there. Same thing with Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. It was just a broken card, like mill 5 for free, and then, you know, use that to go into a zombie vampire, then you get to mill another 4, and it just way too much advantage the generator from this card, man. Like, it was very easily accessible, especially using, I think, the Punk engine as well. So I think, I mean, it was time to go. I think the Hacky Fibrax and the Chaotic Magical Dragon are 2 cards that fall in the same category. Were they problematic? Yes. Could we have still played, or would we have complained if they had remained at 1? I think at this point, not really. Is my personal opinion. Again, feel free to disagree with me in the comment section down below. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, they got banned. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. So that's gonna be it for the Forbidden. If I'm, oh, that's right. Red Reboot was banned. I mean, yeah, it's a Saki card at 1. Did it immediately win games? Not necessarily. It helped counter decks like Eldritch quite a lot easier that way. So I mean, Red Reboot is a really good card. I mean, if it's banned, okay, I mean, there's other things that we can do essentially. I mean, it was just a 1-of, it's not really searchable, so it is what it is. Cyberjar and Steam the Cloak are more interesting ones here. I mean, for Steam the Cloak, if I'm not mistaken, is a token generator, so it's interesting that Konami gave us back a token generator. I mean, they usually like to stay away from these, but we have been getting like Scapegoat back, so I mean, I guess I get it. So cheers to you if you are a Blackwing player. And Cyberjar, it's it's an interesting one, don't get me wrong. So destroy all monsters in the field, then both players reveal the top 5 cards of their deck, then special summon all revealed level 4 lower monsters in attack position or face down defense position. Also add any remaining cards to their hand. I think this is fantastic for like a Crawler archetype or Shaddoll. I think Crawler more than anything. I think there's 20 to be able to add anything to your hand, especially if you're playing like a spell-based deck. For example, I don't know, you're playing something like Runix. You set this, and then you draw 5 cards essentially because you don't play any more monsters, then you're good to go, and it's at 1, so you know. So that'd be a pretty interesting spicy tech, maybe. Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion, again, it's another one of those cards that was just kind of weird. I personally don't see why it was banned to begin with. I mean, yeah, you know, again, it gives you resources and everything, but okay, cool. Being back to 1, I mean, it's not really a card that was on my radar, so it's not something I'm really paying too much attention to. Substitute is the other one that did get a bit of attention. It's currently, I think, like a $40 card, and I think it only has 1 printing, which is insane. So basically, the card reads, you contribute 1 monster, special summon 1 frog monster from your deck, except Frog the Gem. Frog the Gem, I believe, is a normal monster, level 2, so, I mean, you're fine. Frog monsters, except Frog the Gem, cannot be destroyed by battle. So I mean, you contribute itself to summon another toad, but it itself is a level 1, so I don't think that it's going to be really used. Again, I could be wrong on everything I'm saying down the line, but I mean, I did say that Drytron sucked when I was reviewing it, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. So we're going to go ahead and keep going on. Spellbook Adjustment, So this is a really exciting card to see come off the ban list, only because with the current format the way it is, I could definitely, it's funny to see all the Sky Striker cards. Actually, this leads me onto it. It's a pretty good segue. Sky Striker Spellbook is potentially looking to be a interesting option, along with Runic Spellbook. You know, anything that doesn't really care about the normal summons, so that you can get your blue boy out and then activate your Spellbook Judgment, and then keep going Spellbook Knowledge, draw 2, go on from there, and just keep comboing off. Spellbook Sprite is also a big thing as well. So there's a lot of spell heavy decks at the moment. I think Spellbook Judgment just makes it that much more scary to see, definitely. So I'm excited to see this one come back to 1. I'm this close to pulling the trigger. I'm buying an entire Prophecy Spellbook deck, but I'm still hesitant. I feel like I'm a little bit too cautious with these kind of things. I want to understand the ceiling first, but right now I think it's $15 each copy of the Spellbook Judgment. I think Secret Rare is the lowest rarity, if I'm not mistaken. But fantastic card overall. I mean, you gain a lot of advantage. Even for those of you guys who did not play during Spellbooks. So we'll go ahead and read this card together, guys. So during the end phase of the turn this card was activated, add Spellbook spells from your deck to your hand, except Spellbook Judgment up to the number of spell cards activated after this card's resolution. Then you can special summon from your deck 1 Dark Spellcaster monster whose level is less than or equal to the number of cards added to the hand by this effect. So not only is there a free special summon for a Spellcaster monster, I mean, this deck works extremely well with the Secret Village of the Spellcasters as well. Or I think that's what it's called, Secret Village. You know which one I'm talking about, the one you can only activate spells if you have a spellcaster, and then your opponent can't activate spells, which pretty much drones them out, which actually would be a really funny way to beat Runics or Sky Striker. So there you go. Coming up with ideas for you guys. A point on the Red Lotus, I really don't understand why it went to 1. I mean, yes, I understand getting your opponent's hand knowledge is very important, definitely, don't get me wrong, but was it limit worthy? I do not think so. I mean, it saw play in some side decks, but I don't think it was a problematic card. I think I don't really know what Konami's trying to get at by this. I mean, a point on Red Lotus was a great way to understand if your opponent had Dark Ruler or more, or Mystic Mine, which again they did not touch, so I mean, it is what it is as far as that goes, we did not get any semi-limit changes. Still part of Desires, still at 2. Tenki still at 2. Militia still at 2. Malicious, I kind of understand that too. It is what it is. So for the unlimited, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So of course, that main card I see from this is Trickstar Life Stage finally to 3, so you can finally try to make a Trickstar deck. I've been saying that once this comes to 3, I'm going to go ahead and make decks, so it is what it is. I'm going to get you guys a deck profile as soon as possible with test hands, things like that. But Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter. So we're seeing slowly us get True Draco pieces back here and there. I believe the only 2 limited cards right now are Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King, and then also Dragonic Diagram. Dragonic Diagram is an insane card, so is Masterpiece, so I understand why they're limited. I would love for them to come back to at least, well, Dragonic Diagram if coming to 2 would be crazy, but if we just got Masterpiece to 1, I would be 100% playing True Draco. Every other deck can go somewhere else. But it is very exciting that we finally got 3 Dynamite Knight, so we can go ahead and search through our search for more trap cards. I believe actually that True Draco actually topped a regional or something recently. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely let me know, and I'll research that a little bit more. Maybe get you guys a deck profile for it. But so that's really cool to see True Draco again continuously coming back. Cyber Angel Benton. Now that Drytron is pretty much out of competitive play, which really it floors me. Because Drytron is such a good deck. Don't get me wrong, it is a really solid deck to play. I mean, it can skip your opponent's main phase 1. It's a deck that does quite a bit for you. So honestly, I really like Drytron as a deck. I think it has a lot of potential. So I think Cyber Angel Benton coming to 3. I mean, potentially something they can go ahead and play with. I mean, the consistency will be outrageous, you know. But I don't know if that would be also a little bit too cloggy. So there's a lot of things that they can take consideration as far as that goes. But I think Benton to 3 is cool, and it's something that I definitely want to go ahead and experiment a little bit more with Drytron, see how that goes and where that takes me. Shooting Riser Dragon was limited and came to 3. So this is an interesting one. So if this card is synchro summoned, you can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard whose level is lower than this card. Whose level is lower than this card's on the field. And if you do, reduce this card's level by that monster's. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate the effects of monsters with that same name sent to the monster in the hand. You cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name sent to the monster in the hat in the grave. Whatever. You guys can read this. I don't have to read. You can only use this effect of yada yada once per turn. Once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, it gives synchros a way to go ahead and continue. I'm not really familiar with the combos as far as shooting Riser Dragon, but I'm sure that you guys will let me know in the comments section, or that a lot of deck profiles are going to start featuring shooting Riser potentially, so it's something I definitely go ahead and check out. Fusion Destiny Company 3, I mean, I think we all saw this one coming. Nadir Servant, I mean, Dogmatica is not doing anything at all. So I think, I mean, it's perfectly fine. Also, I am kind of surprised Harp Horror is still banned. I didn't see it on the list, so I guess it's something that we still need to, you know, upload as much content as we can, or maybe Konami just looks at our content and completely ignores it, which is something that is a very, very viable option as well, I guess, for them. Again, Trickstar Light Stage to 3 is insane. I'm so happy that we finally got Light Stage to 3. Now I feel like I can finally play a consistent deck. So I'll go ahead and be getting that out for you guys. But let me know which Trickstar version you guys want to see first, because I could go for the Link Trickstar version, or I could go for the Trap Trickstar version. I think Trap is a little bit more competitive, but I think the links are just a little bit more fun, because, you know, you get to use Trickstar Festival and all the other wacky little Trickstar cards. So it could be a lot of fun. And then Wall of Revealing Light, no longer on the list. I don't think anyone really cared. So activate by paying multiples of 1,000 life points. Monster your opponent controls cannot attack if their attack is less than or equal to the amount you paid. So as long as you pay, like, I don't know, 4,000 life points, your opponent just can't attack unless they pop this card first, which is kind of funny, but it doesn't really do anything, only because, I mean, Sprite and Tier Limit already has, well, Sprite more than Tier Limit, I think, has searchable outs that can just pop back row for free, because this doesn't negate effects. But if you have this along with like a skill drain, that is something that would be interesting. It's something that I actually would potentially mess around with a True Draco deck. You know, the gears are turning. We're thinking of ways that we can go ahead and abuse the ban list. But that's pretty much gonna be it for my thoughts on each of the cards that were on the Forbidden Limit list, the newest one that either move, change around, things like that. Overall, it's a very lackluster list. I mean, there's a lot of head scratchers, like a Pointer of the Red Lotus, Red Reboot, Mecha Phantom Beast, O-Lion, like Substitute, like cards that I don't think any of us really were looking for or looking towards playing, anything like that. So that's always something that is a little bit weird. But I mean, it is Konami, and at the end of the day, they can do whatever the hell they want. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this list in the comment section down below. Is it booty cheeks? I'm assuming most of you guys will assume so and think so. But make sure you let Konami know by leaving a like on the video and subscribing for more content, guys. Let's work together to get the word out there. Hopefully Konami will listen eventually. And until that day comes, we're just gonna have to keep hitting the like button and subscribing, guys. It is what it is. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around to the very, very end. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.